We wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things.
What is going on, guys? So we are back with another video, another episode of looking for apartment in Kiev, and we are here at another complex. This is actually in Kiev. It's on the outskirts of Kiev, but this is actually in Kiev. So now we just need to find the salespeople, the office, and then see if they give us a view, check out the apartments, and get a rough idea how this complex compares with the other complexes. So one thing you want to notice is that this is right on the main road here, so that comes with its own pluses and minuses. And plus, on the other side, across the street, they have other complexes being built. Some are built, as you can see. There's a new building being built right now, and so you have a lot of interesting areas. It's not as cozy as some of the other complexes we were looking at, especially the one before this one. It wasn't as cozy, but let's see what the apartments look like, and then go from there.
Going up, get it that I'm never going. I get to it off the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it.
Alright, so we just came back from the sales office, had a little talk with them, and unfortunately we cannot see the inside of the apartment, so we will have to come back and see that later. But we got an understanding of some of the options that we have, some of the apartments that we have. And there were 3 apartments that we were interested in. One is a little bit bigger, it's about 80 square meters, and the other 2 are about 65 square meters. And one is really close to a park, and so you have kind of this main road here, and one is a little bit far away from the road. It's a little bit closer to the park, which I kind of like, because I'm not a big fan of traffic. I want to come home, I want to just relax when I'm at home. I don't want to hear cars or anything like that. And so we're gonna just have a little bit of a walk here, gonna feel the territory out, and then have some coffee, maybe check out the amenities, and then have some final thoughts and ideas, and maybe we'll come back here later and get a better view of what's happening. And so as you can see, the buildings that are facing the road are not the coziest. They are, they're kind of tall, and I don't know if I prefer these kind of taller buildings. And the other thing you want to notice is you have these stores, you have these commercial properties, commercial things happening here. So I don't know if I want to live kind of on the street facing the parking lot. I probably want to have something that's facing the woods, maybe some greenery, something like this. So I don't know if that would be cool. And the other thing I realized that I really like is I don't like to live in taller buildings. Okay, this is something I discovered recently. If I want to live somewhere, I want to live in a building that's 5 floors maximum, 5-6 floors, because the thing about here in Ukraine is that they love these tall buildings, and this is actually not bad. And so it could be a lot worse than this. This is only like maybe 9-10 stories. It's not that bad, but you see some buildings that are like 20s, 30s, 30 stories, and it's a pain, in my opinion, to live in such a building, because the problem with living in such a building is that you get a lot of people and nobody knows each other, nobody knows the neighbors, and you don't have that kind of community aspect of it if you were living in a building that had only 4 floors or something like this. And so that is my kind of opinion. I definitely would prefer something like 5 floors maximum. The building that I'm renting an apartment now at is around 5-6 floors, and that's ideal. I don't want anything more than that, because at this point I know everybody who lives there, and there's this community aspect, and everybody kind of takes care of each other, which is kind of Not very common, I would say, in Ukraine. I think it's more common in other places. So that's something to keep in mind. And so unfortunately, we won't be able to see the apartments today. We're gonna come back and I'm gonna have another video, another tour of the apartments, just to get a better idea, because nothing matters until you actually come in and see the apartment and get a feel for it, and just understand that you're going to be living there, and if that's what you want or not. And so from my understanding, they have a nice woods here actually, so an apartment that faces the woods in my opinion would be ideal. And it's no surprise that they're actually a little bit more expensive, those apartments that are facing the woods. Anyway, this is all for today's apartment viewing. Right now we're gonna head to the supermarket and buy one of my favorite things that I really love about Ukraine, and so stay tuned for that. So we just arrived at shopping mall, but because it's locked down right now, everything is closed. But what's open is the supermarket that you see up in front called Ashan. And this is a big supermarket that they have here in Ukraine. It has a lot of good things, some good food, and not only, but we are here for only one thing.
Going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it out the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday.
And so here's some steaks, some beautiful steaks, but these are pretty expensive. So we're gonna try to find some cheaper ones to see if they have any. Check this out, they got the steak here, and this steak, and this is the price, 358 hryvnia per kilogram. So if you do the math, you're gonna see that this is super cheap, and they have more steaks. There's some more steaks here. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of choices here compared to the other stores. It's definitely not. There's some stores that have a lot more options. They also have this ossobuco that I had in Italy, really good. But apart from New York, ossobuco and flank steak, they really don't have a lot of options. So we're gonna head to another store, another Ashan, that has more options, more steaks that we can get. And so unfortunately this store didn't have a lot of options. There's some stores that have amazing different cuts of steak, which we buy all the time, and so it's great. And so we're gonna head to this other Ashan right now and see if they have more options for some good steak to get, and get like enough steak to last us a whole week.
Going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. Get it that I'm never going. I get to it out the runway. Different incomes, not one way. Living life on a one way. I knew this would happen someday. You can ask my day one day. Cloudy days turn to sun rays. Only way to way up way. Know my way, know my feng shui. I get to it first, I got you mad. I get sad when I get to it last. Get it that I'm never going back. Get it that I'm never going back. I get to it first, I got you mad.
We arrived at the promised land. And here are the steaks. And so what do we have today? We have some chakai roll for 366 hryvnia. We have ribeye for 200 hryvnia per kilogram. We also have, I think that's about it. We only have 2 steaks. And fortunately, these are some of my favorite steaks they have. Sometimes they have other ones, but this is pretty good for me. So we're gonna get a bunch of the ribeyes here and a bunch of chakai rolls. So that's what we have. So we have one chakai roll, steak ribeye, and then another steak ribeye. So what we have is 4 steaks for about a week. Steak ribeye, chakai roll. Let's get another one. Let's get another chakai roll. Chakai roll. There is another chakai roll. This one looks pretty good. Another thing we're gonna grab is some persimmon, or persimmon, however you pronounce it. It's 72 hryvnia per kilogram, and this is from Spain, and this is one of my favorite fruits. to eat during the winter. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's sweet. It's awesome. So we like to definitely, this is probably one of the only advantages of the winter, is that you can enjoy some fruits that you don't really have access to otherwise. Looks amazing. Beautiful.
Дай формат.
Total price 1,144 grivna, which is around something like $30-something. Alright, we just left the supermarket, got all the groceries here, and now we're heading home. So it's been a rather productive day today. Got some steaks, got some persimmon, got some bananas, and checked out a new place for some apartments. So I hope you enjoyed this episode here, and I will see you in the next one.
Going up, get it that I'm never going. I get to it out the runway. Different incomes now.